Welcome to my channel, where OP puts a huge target on his own back for the most satisfying revenge ever. Our next Reddit post is from DK. Imagine saving for months as a kid in the 90s, just to buy a single PC game, back when gaming wasn't instant. Back when every floppy felt sacred. There was nothing more exciting than getting a new game for your computer. You'd rip off the plastic, place the disc inside, and hope there weren't any copy protections. Then you'd eagerly type in the code while your mom watched over your shoulder, hoping that you got it right because the last thing you wanted was to get an ABBA song stuck on your screen instead of the game you paid for. Then he came along. Promised us his uncle had stacks of games. We shared our treasures with him, and what we got back? Trash. Floppy disks were expensive, time-consuming to copy, and ours were brand new. But his were always already heavily used, heavily scratched, and when we complained, they were just part of the process. As long as you handled them with care, he said, passing them around for us to insert into our machines. He always made sure that our disks were the ones that got damaged. It was until weeks later that we realized he was putting our floppies into a new drive while keeping the old ones for himself. And then when I pulled up my brand new copy of Settlers 2, which took me 2 years to save up for, he didn't even pretend to be careful. He shoved it into my drive like it was nothing. At first I tried to stop him, tried to keep him from handling my stuff, but he always just laughed. Laughed at me, at the fact that I got so upset over something so trivial. Then when he mocked me for loving Queen, for admiring Freddie, that wasn't just betrayal anymore, that was personal. My bedroom walls were covered in Freddie posters, each one meticulously cut out and arranged to form a mosaic of beautiful chaos. But he didn't see the beauty. To him it was just trashy tabloid gossip, something to make fun of. So after an AIDS awareness event at school, we had the idea. A fake letter. From a foundation, addressed to his dad. It was a flyer from the school nurse, a letter about protecting yourself against HIV and how to get tested. It wasn't unusual to get these types of things. But the condom samples that were handed out alongside it were quite shocking. Condoms in school. Yikes. 2 days later, he told everyone that his dad had gotten into a massive fight with his boss because of those pamphlets. Not because he cared about the message, no, because he cared about getting us back. But we had an ace up our sleeves. While he bragged about how he'd tricked his parents into thinking he was gay, we printed it, copied it, packaged it, mailed it, then waited. It looked just like the other flyers from the school. And to his dad, who barely spoke English, it probably looked all the more urgent. But once the envelope arrived, everything changed. Days later, his life imploded. I saw his mom crying in the school parking lot, his dad yelling at her. She was babbling in another language, but I understood the gist of it. She denied everything, denied that he could have possibly been gay. She blamed herself, kept asking if she did something wrong. I never heard him speak to her again. He sat silently at his desk for weeks, flinching whenever anyone walked by. Even caught some of our classmates whispering. They were scared of getting mixed up in whatever mess he'd gotten himself into. I didn't have to hear much beyond the rumors to know what had happened. Even though his parents were very religious, the kind of people who kicked their son out of the house for being gay, he couldn't risk having anyone else find out. His life imploded. He went from being the center of attention to sitting silently in the corner. His insults turned to silence. One day he confronted us. He stood over my desk, eyes bulging, nostrils flared, lips trembling. He whispered, "Was it you?" His finger jabbed at me. I only nodded. "Was it you?" He hissed at my best friend, who only shrugged. The bully threw his head back and screamed, "You both suck." Then he ran out of the room, but at least he knew. And when we finally admitted it, he exploded. A few hours later, all three of us were sitting in the principal's office. Our parents were furious. I could feel the tension radiating off of my mom through the chair that I was sitting on. She squeezed my shoulder reassuringly, but the principal was trying hard not to break into a smile. He was biting his lip, desperately trying to keep a straight face. The other two parents were shouting at each other, so I guess that part worked out well. But the principal turned to me. "Let me get this straight," he asked, voice cracking. "You sent a letter to this kid's father accusing him of being gay?" He took a deep breath and continued. "Do you know how serious an accusation like that is? This could ruin his entire life." "He ruined mine first," I mumbled, refusing to look at my feet. "Well, none of this would have happened if you hadn't sent that letter. I'm very disappointed in you, son. Do you understand that?" My dad was mad, but I could tell that a part of him was proud. When I got home, he even gave me a rare smile and ruffled my hair. And while he definitely deserved some punishment, a suspension maybe, it was worth it. It wasn't just revenge. It was poetic justice. And even 30 years later, it's still the most satisfying revenge I've ever taken. Wow, talk about making lemonade out of lemons. Op took something bad that happened to him and made it good by giving the bully a taste of his own medicine. And oh man, did he get his comeuppance. This was a wholesome revenge. That was my channel. And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also hit that subscribe button because I put out new videos every single day.